Today, a federal appeals court in Atlanta heard arguments about whether a Jacksonville judge made a mistake when he removed a juror in the corruption case against her. The juror was removed after telling the judge that the Holy Spirit told him that Brown was not guilty. Brown's legal team argues the man was unfairly excluded on religious grounds. Brown was convicted of 18 felony counts of fraud and tax evasion, and she was released from prison, having served less than half of her 5-year sentence. An immediate ruling in the appeal is not expected.